मुंबई के मैग्ना हाउस की सोसाइटी मैगजीन के कवर पेज का हिस्सा बने फिल्म मेकर रमेश सिप्पी। मीडिया से इंटरैक्ट करते वक्त रमेश सिप्पी ने कहा कि शोले एक माइलस्टोन फिल्म है।
Lovely wife, Kiran Juneja, and the editor of Society, Suchitra Iyer. We are truly honored to have one of the best and the biggest directors of the industry. His films are truly evergreen. You pick any of his work, be it Shan, be it Sita or Geeta. He's also given the biggest blockbuster to Hindi cinema. Kitne aadmi the? Yes, I'm talking about Sholey. We are truly honored to have him here and his lovely wife. Can we have a huge round of applause for that? So Ramesh sir, you have very nicely tossed aside all the young actors. You look supremely handsome on the cover. How does it feel?
Well, I have to say thank you, Stardust, for making
Society.
me
You don't
look
mind.
so good.
And society.
All right. I thought this was for society.
All the Magna Group. It's
listen.
all the Magna
This-
Group.
The cover is society, but I thought this is being covered by Stardust. Am I right?
Also, how does it feel to have received the Padma Shri award?
I've got to be a bit grim on that, right? It was very nice, really. It went. It felt very different. It felt very elating, very inspiring, and then it makes you wait for the Bhushan. When do I get the Bhushan? So I started the Ramesh Sippy Academy for Cinema and Entertainment. I'm hoping this will get me the Bhushan. What do you say? Worth it? You think so? Okay.
So how was the whole photo shoot experience for Society magazine?
Oh, it was a lovely day, and I think I gave ample time. I was told I was very nice about it.
Definitely.
Yeah. How can they say no? No, it was very, very, very nice. I actually opened up, warmed up, and therefore it went on and on.
I think he overstayed. Really, really long time.
And it's always in his hands to cut off whatever is not necessary. So I left it to them to keep the best and throw away the rest, or use it somewhere else. So it's always now these days you don't throw away. You use it somewhere.
So it's now time for us to reveal information that both you and I don't know about Ramesh. So, and for that, we will have to talk to his gorgeous wife. Firstly, how does it feel to see your husband on the cover of Society?
it's every time I see it, I feel fantastic. I mean, it's never that, oh, I've seen it so many times, but this is really, really looking. I think he's looking handsome, don't you
Oh
think?
yes, he definitely. I said it in the beginning. He's tossed all the young actors aside.
Besides being a great director, if he can look so handsome, I feel good about it. But I'm sure he's shared a lot of good things with society, which the rest of the people will be able to read and understand and identify with. In fact, I had to come down because I was up and he was giving the interview down, and I had to finally come down and say, like, it's not over, because it went on and on. So I think it spoke from his heart that day, and he shared a lot of his thoughts on various issues. And I'm hoping that the people who are going to be reading it are also going to get to know. So a lot of things that are here, I would not like to talk about.
So now coming to the information that you and I will be really interested in knowing. When you are angry with him, how does he make up? What does he do?
Well, it never gets to that because it's like talking to a blank wall. So I could be angry and shouting and saying, but what the hell? And I'll just see this man nodding and smiling. and if it's anything to say that, you were wrong, it's like, yeah, you're right. Yeah, I was. And then somebody says that, there's nothing you can do about it.
So then what are
Good
the
strategy.
certain things that you like and dislike about
So this
him?
is something that irritates me about him.
Okay.
But on the other hand, it's wonderful because you never really get to the level where you fight. But sometimes, you want the other person to react, but he doesn't. He
Well,
just
apart
sits there
from that,
peacefully.
which is the best quality this man has?
Patience.
Patience.
Patience. I tell him that, if there was a bombing happening around you and if you were reading a book, you could very peacefully carry on reading,
Finish
wait
the
for the bomb to
chapter.
happen, and then close the book and say, all right, let's go on,
Ramesh, you are truly having a great day today. I'm all flattered by the compliments and comments. Alright, super. So now it's time for you guys to ask questions and start a conversation. So, who's going to start? Kindly raise your hand. Yes?
You worked with the generation that is now quite senior, and now you've started your own academy and seeing the next generation. What is the main?
Oh, it's not the next generation, it's 3 generations down.
What do you-
18-year-olds today,
Ah.
18-year-olds today, they'll be entering the academy.
Yeah.
So my grandson is more than that. My grandson is 24, 25, 20. Well, so you can imagine that I am feeling really good.
What is the main difference you see in both of their attitude towards the industry or towards acting?
I think the common factor is passion. When you're young, you're very passionate, whether it's going to see a film or wanting to learn about life, all aspects of life, of course about romance and of course about the ticklish bits, but the curiosity and inquisitiveness about life around you and the desire to do something, especially if they're coming to this kind of a business. Yes, there are a lot of stars in their eyes, but if they are movie makers, they would come to my academy more if they want to be movie makers. Everyone is welcome, but I mean directors. They really want to be directors. Then I see that if I can pull out 1 or 2 every year that can do something like magic, then we have a great future. More and more generations of movie lovers will be able to see all that. What that's going to be, I don't know in the future. With technology changing the way it is so fast, you can see anything on your mobile, you can see anything anywhere, probably on a wall, probably, I mean, it's all around you. And then to keep the interest of that audience who's used to so much will be quite a tough job. It always was tough. It's not getting any less tougher now.
Alright. Yes, and
My question is for Kiran ma'am. Like you both are power couples of Bombay's social scene. So what do you think about that tag? Tag of being a power couple?
Well, I mean, why should I be unhappy about it? It's it's a great tag to have. Along with, luckily, we are not just that. We're doing a lot of other things, and we have a fulfilled life, as you call it. So it's great. I wouldn't like to be only that, definitely, but it's great.
Yes. Nice. Yeah.
It is written on the cover of your life before and after Sholey. So how much did your life change after Sholey?
Not really. At least I didn't personally feel it, because I have been more or less what you see today, as she said. Even Salim Javed once said to me, it looks like you were born mature. So, if that's got any truth in it, then I was, what should I call it, a dreamer, always. And somehow, the one thing that drove me to do things was, A, I needed a challenge, and B, I wanted to make films, if not better, at least like they do in the West. The masters in our country have made films. Why can't we take our films to those levels? And it was always the feeling within me that said that take that extra chance, be a little different. That's why my first film, Andaz, was about a widow and a widower. Everybody said, "You crazy? You want to make a young guy, 25 years is starting a film, and you want to make a film about, you should be making a film about young people." Exactly what my actor, hero, Shami Kapoor said. You know what I'm popular for, famous for? The rebel star, the dancing star. Don't you want to make the most of that? All I said to him was, haven't you done enough of that? Let's do something different. He was excited. So let's do it.
Yes.
सर मेरे आपसे दो सवाल हैं। पहला सवाल, जब शोले रिलीज हुई थी तो जिस तरह आज जो बाहुबली को सफलता मिली, क्या उसी तरह का था? क्योंकि हमारा तो जन्मदिन नहीं हुआ था, तो बताइए उसके बारे में क्या रिएक्शन थी, कैसा ओपनिंग और अगर कुछ बता।
इसके बारे में बहुत सी कहानियाँ हैं। कुछ लोग कहते हैं कि जब रिलीज़ हुई तो फ्लॉप हो गई, तो सब ने कहा कि ये तो बैठ गई फिल्म। वो बिल्कुल सही नहीं था, लेकिन हमारे ट्रेड पंडित, जो ट्रेड मैगजीन्स थी, उनको ऐसा लगा कि ये फिल्म नहीं चल सकती, ये फिल्म नहीं चली है। मेरा ख्याल है वो पहले से प्रिपेयर्ड थे ये कहने के लिए, क्योंकि फिल्म जिसका बजट 1 करोड़ था वो 3 करोड़ तक चला गया। तो ये फिल्म कैसे पैसा बना सकती है? ये तो रिलीज़ के पहले ही फ्लॉप है। और इसी तरह उन्होंने लिखा कि ये फिल्म डिज़ास्टर है इंडस्ट्री के लिए। 3 करोड़ का खर्चा, ऊपर से प्रिंट, पब्लिसिटी और ये सब, तो ये 4-5 करोड़ से कम तो खर्चा नहीं है इसका। कब रिकवर होगा, कैसे रिकवर होगा? इंडस्ट्री डूब गई। लेकिन जहाँ तक ऑडियंस का सवाल था, ऐसा बिल्कुल नहीं था। ये ज़रूर था कि ऑडियंस, जब मैं और पहली बार फिल्म देखने गया ऑडियंस के साथ, तो सन्नाटा छाया हुआ था। मुझे लगा कि क्या है। मैं दूसरी सिनेमा में गया, तीसरी में गया, हर जगह सन्नाटा। उससे कुछ ऐसे लगा कि तो वाकई गड़बड़ तो नहीं हो गई है। ये पंडित बोल रहे हैं एक तरफ से, और ये मैं कुछ सुन ही नहीं रहा हूँ दूसरी तरफ। तो एक सिनेमा है यहाँ वर्ली में, गीता सिनेमा करके, ओल्ड सिनेमा थी, आई डोंट नो इट्स स्टिल देयर। वहाँ गया, उनके मैनेजर ने बुलाया, आप हमारे आए। गए, इंटरवल हो चुका था। मैंने कहा अब इसको क्या कहना है, इसकी भी सुन लो। अब तो उसने कहा कि आपकी फिल्म जो है, प्रॉब्लम मेरा ये है कि ये जो आप देख रहे हैं स्टैंड सोडा फाउंटेन का और ये जो कोक और सिगरेट और समोसे का, यहाँ कोई आता ही नहीं है। तो ये भी गया, मतलब ना कुछ खा रहे हैं, ना कुछ पी रहे हैं, और ना कोई आवाज़ हो रही है। नहीं, इंटरवल में कोई सिनेमा सीट से उठना ही नहीं चाहता। तो सन्नाटा इस वजह से है कि इन लोगों ने आज तक ऐसी फिल्म देखी नहीं। इतना साउंड और ये जो सारी तिगड़में की हमने, मेहनत की, जो भी की, अब एक सेंटेंस में समझ में आ गई बात कि लोग चौकन्ने हो गए हैं। धीरे धीरे ये वर्ड स्प्रेड हुआ, फिर 4-5 दिन के बाद फिर डायलॉग दोहराने लगे। अगर वाकई नहीं पसंद आती तो कोई होगा नहीं अंदर। फिर धीरे धीरे समझ में आया और सबको 7th और 8th वीक में जाकर मानना शुरू किया लोगों ने कि ये हिट है। और फिर 15वें हफ्ते में पंडित्स ने मान लिया कि ऐसी हिट नहीं बनी। प्लीज
सर, शान भी आपकी तब की जब तो सर शोले रिलीज होने के बाद आप पे एक वो होता है कि यार इतनी बड़ी हिट दे दी, अब मैं अगला क्या करूँगा। तो शान जब तब उस वक्त, क्योंकि वो भी मल्टी स्टार है उसमें, तो उस वक्त क्या था सर? थोड़ा सा
उस वक्त ऐसा था, हमने उस सब आर्टिस्ट इकट्ठे हुए थे कि पहली प्रिंट शान की देखनी है। 70 mm स्टीरियोफोनिक साउंड, बच्चन साहब, शशि जी, सब, all Praveen, Salim Javed, all the actors and actresses and all the crew was there. और हम पहुंच गए तो लास्ट शो चल रहा था शोले का। पूरी पिक्चर खत्म हुई, फिर एक सन्नाटा छा गया और सबने कहा कि यार इसी को चलने दो, अब इसको उतार के कुछ और लगाएंगे, पता नहीं क्या कहेंगे, और क्यों ना इसी को चलने दें। तो उस वक्त बात की और मॉर्निंग शो हमने उसका रहने दिया, शोले का, और ये लगाई। Film was released. Film initially felt disappointing, not from its technique or its the finesse was excellent. It was appreciated also in many ways. लेकिन वो बात नहीं है। सबका एक ही कहना था, वो शोले वाली बात नहीं है। तो ऐसा होता है जब इतनी हवा बन गई, जो 42 साल बाद भी हम उसके बारे में बात कर रहे हैं, तो उसको वाइप आउट करना दिमाग से और दूसरी चीज़ को एक्सेप्ट करना इतना आसान नहीं होता। अगर मैंने उल्टा किया होता, पहले शान बना लेता और ये लेता, तो उससे बड़ी वो, फिर उसके बाद प्रॉब्लम होता, प्रॉब्लम तो होता, तो इसमें हो गया। तो ये बात है।
Yes. Could you tell us something about the casting process for Sholey? I mean, how did you cast?
Casting process. It was fairly simple because Sita or Geeta, my cast was already, half the cast was already in it. Dharamji, Sanjeev is who we took. Dharamji, Sanjeev and Hemaji, they were already in my film. So as the story was completing, 3 obvious characters seemed right for them. we filled that berth with them. When it came to one more pair, Jaya ji had come up at that time. Guddi was a film that showed a lot of promise for her. So ऐसा लगा कि she's such an expressive face. After a very long time, I found an actress with so much expression on her face. And I knew in my mind that this role, since it would not be much of a dialogue role for her, I certainly needed someone who could express herself through her eyes and through the lines of her face. And therefore, I felt that she should be cast. Of course, Salim Javed, all of us sat, discussed it. It was a joint decision. But that was my very strong personal feeling. And for the man opposite, there was a bit of a tussle, a lot of discussions. Shatrughan Sinha's name came up. Other names came up as well. The strongest contender besides Amitji was Shatrughan Sinha, of course. Then we had the idea was to decide on him, and we said, let's see the rushes of the film. That's what Salim Javed, since they had suggested, let's take Amitabh Bachchan. We went and saw Parwana, in which there was no complimentary, really, aspect to his work or the film, so it was a bit disappointing. But yet, I had seen two films of his which impressed me. One was Anand, in which he played a very quiet, strong-willed character, and he was a perfect foil to Rajesh Khanna's of Babu Mushai. And the other was an extreme opposite, Bombay to Goa, in which he played a very light role. And almost the whole film was inside a bus. And in that bus, this tall, lanky fellow, if you stand up, he'd hit the ceiling. And yet, he moved around the bus with such agility, such wonderful dexterousness that he won me over in the sense that how can this guy find comfort in all this singing songs and doing things lightly? So here's a perfect combination of somebody who can do a strong role as well as the lighter side of it. And he can sing and he can dance that way. It's great. And I was very conscious of one thing. I didn't want a superstar. Casting wise, I already had three with me, and Jaya was the upcoming superstar. And also we had signed Danny Denzongpa for the role of Gabbar. So the decision was, let's go with Amitabh Bachchan. It's another thing that by the time we released Sholey, Zanjeer had released, Diwar had released, we already started shooting up. But the next obvious question is, how come Danny and why? Yes. Danny, because he was the best good man, bad man. We had signed him, a check was given to him. He remembers it till today. I have your check. When do you want to cash it? In good humor. But yes, we had signed him. He was shooting at that time when we were ready to start. He was shooting for a film called Dharmatma with Feroz Khan. And he had a damn good role there, as well as they were already they started filming and they were in the middle of their schedules. I said, we can't wait. I'm sorry. You sure you can't get out of it? I mean, or finish it or adjust according to our dates. I said, I'd like to say that, but there I have a similar problem. How could I tell them I can't walk away from their shoot either? Fair enough. So we started thinking of the next possibility, and shooting was less than 6 weeks or so away. So again, Salim Javed came up with the name of Amjad Khan. Amjad Khan was the son of a very fine actor, Jayant. So the pedigree was there. He was working with Mr. K. Asif at that time, making of Love and God. So we called him to the office, had a look at him, and then I remembered suddenly that this is the guy I saw on stage doing a play about South Africa in which my sister was playing. That's why I had gone to see the play. My sister was playing a South African and he was playing opposite her. There was a nice agility about him, such a hulky guy, and yet it was all there. And when I saw his face in the office, just felt, this looks like Gabbar. We called him a few days later, told him to grow a stubble beard, and dressed him up in that army outfit with the belt and everything, which are still Lelie, and we had Gabbar Singh with us. That's how it started. Anything else?
Yes. You learn more from failures. Can you elaborate the title? You learn more from the failures.
Yes, you do.
Can you elaborate?
Yes. Why did Shan not do as well? Wasn't what you would call a flop. It did well. It made money. Not the kind of money Sholey made, but it did make money. But it wasn't like one was better than the other, or one was equally. So, what did I learn from that? One thing is, whenever I've started to make a film, I always try to do something different. It was different from Sholey in the sense that it was in the city rather than, I don't know if you all remember both the films. One was a countryside film and one was the heart of the city, and very modern, very James Bond kind of atmosphere. So after tasting that local color, this Western, foreign feel to it did not go down very well. Also, I tried to create something again along the lines with a multi-star cast, with a lot of money going into technique as well as, and somehow the essence of it was in its own way similar. There was a bad man, there were some good guys, and the good guys go after the bad guy and finish them off. So there was no freshness of thematic value. So I think people felt, well, that's good. Yeah, okay, but not better than that. So you need to step back before you venture into your next. How can I be different? And yet, because the audience's expectations are what they are. but you try to sometimes swim with the tide. That time I swam with the tide. I said, everybody wants action and everybody wants a multi-star cast and everybody wants this, let's give it to them. That was a mistake. So you learn, you must make a film with your own beliefs, your own conviction, and then move on.
Yes.
Ramesh, from today's actor, you have to cast Jay and Viru again for remaking Sholay. Whom would you pick?
Thank God I'm not going to make it again. So I don't have to answer that question.
सर इसी का कंटिन्यूएशन है जब राम गोपाल वर्मा ने अनाउंस किया कि मैं राम गोपाल वर्मा की आर्ट बना रहा हूँ वो शोले को ट्रिब्यूट दूंगा जब आपने वो खबर पढ़ी होगी या सुनी होगी
No, मेरे पास आए थे.
अच्छा तो थोड़ा सा अगर आप उसका
मेरे पास आए थे वो आए थे और उन्होंने कहा कि रमेश जी मैं ये करना चाहता, मुझे लगता है कि मैं कुछ कर सकता हूँ उसको, अगर अपने हिसाब से मैं बनाऊंगा. So that's up to you. I would not advise it. A lot of people have told me to make Sholay again. Even I will not venture into Sholay. And that was about, what, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, whatever it was. So, why touch that? It's a classic. Just leave it where it is. It's not impossible what he said. It can be done. But you need to have that perfect. If you're going to have a take on it, a take on Sholay, then it better be brilliant in its own way. It may take the essence of Sholay, but it better be brilliant in its own way. It happens, a film like Titanic is made once, it doesn't work. James Cameron comes along and makes it, and it's one of the biggest films of the world ever. So, it's not impossible, but it's a very tough job to try and do that. It was easier for him because Titanic was a failure. He had to improve on it. That was not so difficult. But trying to do something more than a huge big hit which has gone into people's psyche, that's not very easy.
My question is for Kiran ma'am. Ma'am, which is your favorite character from Sholay?
At different times, different ones. I think I like all of them. I've seen it so many times, on, off, back, forth. I think I live every character. Very difficult for me to say. I love all of them. I love Basanti when she comes on, and I love Viru when he talks, and I love those lines. So very, very difficult to say. I think even the male characters I kind of identify with. Very difficult.
It's time for the unveiling to come to an end. Thank you so much, Mr.